Welcome, everyone. This is an impromptu talk that I'm going to give called The Structure of the Honor Movement. The Structure of the Honor Movement. So, today, I believe it's 4/23/23, and it's about 6 p.m. roughly. I just gave a call to you and said, hey, can you get together? Let's just shoot this thing. So that's how we're doing it. So structure of the honor movement. Now, the honor movement, the motto of the honor movement is honor to the people. And the theme is spiritual and emotional activism. Spiritual and emotional activism, not political activism. We don't get involved with politics. As individuals, people can be involved if they want. But as a movement, we don't get involved. Just like we have spiritual principles, we don't get involved though with a particular religion. Now, a couple other aspects to the structure is we don't request donations at all. As a matter of fact, we go a step further. If somebody offers money, anybody in the movement or outside the movement, we don't accept it. We don't have any structures. The shrine of the honor movement is the human heart. We don't have buildings, whatever. People just meet with their loved ones in the kitchen to talk about these things, or in parks, or whatever. So I've taken out the two main corrupting influences, money and power. Nobody has any power. I don't have any power. I put the ideas forth, and there's no way to enforce anything. Now, the intention is for this to go on for many centuries to come. So the structure is meant to protect that, to protect the teachings, and to add commentaries and applications. Basically, we have educational programs in all areas of life, whether it's family, education, for the homeless that we called Unbounded, for the senior citizens that we call, I have a basis like this, Honored Elders, for athletics, or we call the athletes Honor Athletes, for communication. We have a system called Respect for Real Communication, and we also have an organization called Disciples of Honor, and we have a bracelet like that for Disciples of Honor. Just some of the things are what we have. But we have it for race relations, every area of life. Well, not in marriage, divorce, for children. For example, we have an educational program called Happy Thoughts for Happy Kids. And we have one video called Happy Thoughts for Happy Kids, where we have the Happy Thoughts Club for children. So we have books. We have 95 books. We have 489 recorded videos. We have a free public service website with over 100 videos. We have a paid website, but that's for people who are in honor therapy. So when I do my therapy and I give these teachings, and that's our therapy system, I make my livelihood on that. But the movement, there's no money involved whatsoever. Now, I really don't feel I'm the founder of the movement. I just don't feel that way about it. I really feel it was from the promptings of the Holy Spirit. So, in truthfulness, I say the founder of the movement is the honor spirit, is the Holy Spirit. The founder of the movement is the Holy Spirit. I'm simply the initiator and the guide. My wife, Maheen, is the foundation, right? She's the foundation of my life in terms of on earth, anyway. And then we have a sustainer to sustain this at this time. That's Tracy. After her, she'll pick another to be the sustainer after her. But then we have deputy sustainers. At this time, we have 5 deputy sustainers. If something happened to Tracy, then I would pick somebody from amongst the 5 deputy sustainers, who are Bertrand, Bernice, Stacy, Jonathan, and Christy at this time. And then each of the deputy sustainers at this point have 5 assistant deputy sustainers. 5 assistant deputy sustainers. Haven't appointed anybody there. The deputy sustainers can choose some of their own assistants. I'll appoint some of the assistants if I think it's a good matchup. Now, then we have what I call honor families, honor tribes, and a federation of honor tribes, which is a loose association of honor tribes. Honor families, honor tribes, and a federation of honor tribes. Here's how that works. So each deputy sustainer is a sustainer for a tribe. Now, that tribe is made of honor families. So I have a book that I wrote. We have it in digital form, but I have also some hard copies, The Teachings of Honor. The Teachings of Honor. This particular version, I have a new one coming out, hopefully before the end of May. This has 198 pages, but there's not much print on them. A person can go through 4 pages in about 5 to 10 minutes at the most. So right now, I assign my patients to read 4 pages a week and then answer 3 questions. How are you going to use it to help yourself, your loved ones, and the world, society? How are you going to apply? So this is part of the spiritual emotional activism. And the answers have to be very specific as possible. What are you going to do and when you're going to do it? Now, not everybody's following that format. I'm getting a lot of responses from people that are more generalized than that, and that's fine. They're benefiting in that way. Some people are getting very specific. So at this point, so now what I found was, initially I had an idea of people having a group that were going to facilitate. I dropped that. It wasn't happening. But I tell people, now what I want you to do is to do this with somebody you love. And I call that the family. It could be your spouse, your son, your daughter, your mother, your father, whomever. Even a close friend would still call that an honor family. So that's the honor family. One with one. Because other people are intimidated by the idea of being a facilitator for a group, so I dropped that. So it's 2 people. And eventually those 2 people could invite other family members in, but 2. So those 2 are the core of the honor family. And then under the deputy sustainer, they form a tribe. Right now we have 5 tribes. That's the structure there. I want to have a group text where whether a person's a sustainer, deputy sustainer, assistant deputy sustainer, or just an honor family, all have access to that group text. So right now, I probably have 50 to 70 commentaries and applications that I've received from honor families and honor members. And I'm going to put that into a book of commentaries and applications. I'm going to make a hard copy of it, but also Cindy put together a digital one for us. Now, the book, The Teachings of Honor, we have it in digital form, so I'm asking everybody to download that, and that way you'll have it. So even if you don't have subscription anymore to the website, you've got that book. And I don't have books on the public service website. I don't have nearly as many videos either as the paid website. But this way you have the digital copy, and you can share that with whomever. Again, I'm not looking to make any money on that. That's just for the upliftment of society. We want to bring honor to the people. That's the whole goal of what we're doing, with the intention of going on for centuries to come. Now, the different ways this could be corrupted. Power and money are not the 2. There could be somebody who's very charismatic, who might use it to exploit sexually, particularly if it's a man. I mean, women are less inclined to that. That's why right now I have more women as sustainers, deputy sustainers, and as a sustainer than men. Less corruptible from sexual seduction. And also less likely to get an exaggerated ego. I never heard of a cult, a big cult that had a woman as a leader. It's always been men. That are ones I've known of, these cults. So that's one way it can be corrupted. You can't stop it, but that would damage the reputation of the movement. But as you know, things happen. You look at any organization, things happen. Somebody along the line might get somebody to invest in something with them and be a scam artist. Great people have fallen. A person may be very sincere. These things can happen. There's no reason, as to the extent that we grow, there's every reason to believe that we'll be prone to every problem that's plagued everywhere. But money and power, we won't be corrupted by that. That's been the biggest one. Money, but people, skim people with money. Sex is probably the most tempting one. People, particularly men, might feel powerful, and so women find that really attractive, and that could be an issue. A woman who's very, very honorable, that's not as seductive as a man being very powerful in the honor way. So that's my thinking at this time. I can't protect every dimension of this, but I can in terms of power and money, because there's no money involved. Nobody's going to run off with the money because there isn't any money. They can't run off with the property because there is no property. They can't abuse their power. They don't have any official power. That's the protection. So that's the structure. That's the structure of the honor movement. So they're going to be 5 assistant deputy sustainers. And not going to be, so there's not going to be any facilitators going on. It's just, they can meet individually with them. They can meet with them as a group. That's up to them. So the deputy sustainers can choose some of them. I can choose some of them, to be under them. I haven't picked any yet. So that doesn't exist yet, the assistant deputy sustainers. So that's not there yet at this time. So this is basically a grassroots movement. Grassroots, for sure. We have amazing institutions, religious institutions, political institutions. But this isn't from the top down. This is from the bottom up. This is something for the masses. We've interviewed over 5,000 people on the streets, as well as having over 1,500 disciples of honor, over 100 devotees of honor. Everybody relates to honor, everybody. And they're not really offended by it or turned off. You're not getting into politics, you're not getting into religion. We have Latinos, whites, blacks, Asian, Native American. So it's all races, all religions, and atheists. So nobody's excluded from this. It's universal. Everybody relates to honor. We have the 4 commandments of honor, the bridge, the supremacy of honor codes, the 25 laws of honor, the demands of honor, the 7 laws of honor. We have many facets to it, although the key of the whole thing is the 4 commandments of honor and the bridge. But many people have said, and rightly so, if they had to pick just one thing, it would be the bridge. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? Yeah. I gave the date 4/23/23 for a reason. This is a growing, breathing, organic system. It's going to keep changing. Nobody can alter the teachings. Nobody can change the wording of the teachings at all. Nobody's authorized to do that. Doesn't mean somebody won't do it. And not because it's the best wording. It's not. It's just the system really works just the way it is. That's why we have the commentaries and the applications that people are going to make. We're going to have a book of that, and those will just keep building up over the centuries. So I recommend we just keep it in a pure form. And Tracy, who's the first sustainer, is committed to doing that. So when it comes to, the 3 questions that are asked in the kitchen things, we dealing or your living room with a loved one, a family member, or a friend, close friend. How are you going to use the teaching to help yourself, your loved ones, and the world? So sometimes it's not clear how you can use it to help the world. Well, one way of using it to help the world is to take the videos. I text them to many people. I have those videos. And we have the honormovement.org. The educational videos can then be given to various people. For instance, I have one that's for the police and the relationship with police, being in respect between the police and African Americans. The head of the police for all of California loved it, and he's looking at it and considering, we'll see what comes of it. He asked if I could meet with him, and he already understands I don't want anything out of this. So it's not like I want to just approach him. He's related to me from my cousin through marriage, his wife, that's his first cousin. I had that connection. When I went in to meet with a police chief and give it to him, nothing happened. But eventually, so we have all these programs. And then we have, for instance, the honored elders. So people are being into the retirement homes. The terminology honored elders, bringing those bracelets, talking to the staff, that's bringing it into the world. Or we have water bottles that say honor to the people, unbounded, because we call homeless, we call them the unbounded, because they're not bounded. They can go live in New York, they can go live in Laguna Beach, San Francisco. They're not bounded. The rest of us are bounded by having to be at a work, at a house, making payments, rent, or mortgage, or whatever. They're not. So we call them the unbounded. It's a much more positive terminology than homeless. Or nobody wants to be a senior citizen. Hell, I don't want to be. I'm 82 in a few weeks. But honored elder, that's great. Honored elder. Yeah. So that's in terms of bringing. So we have the videos to bring to whomever. That's one way to bring it to the world, the videos, or even the book, The Teachings of Honor, giving it to different organizations. So really, although the key of the whole thing are those 3 questions in the book, but people then could expand beyond that. It's just an evolving system. But we have so many programs for all areas of life. Tracy is bringing it into the schools and the honor athlete included to the teams. We have one person who brought it to, he teaches, he's a coach for the football teams for kids, and he had them take the pledge to be an honor athlete. And the theme there is humble in victory, strength by defeat. And it just expands from there. It goes, there's more to it, but that's basically the theme of it. We have programs for all areas of life, and those educational videos, and plus the book, The Teachings of Honor. And we have 85 books that have been uploaded, 95 books written, but 85 that are uploaded on the honortherapy.com. So that's the thing. When sharing that's bringing it to the world. Of course, living by honor spreads a positive vibration. And that's fine. But in terms of a plan, I'm going to bring this to this person. I'm going to bring it to school. I know this police officer, I'm going to bring it there. I know this teacher, I'm going to bring it there. I know this coach, I'm going to bring it to him. That's bringing it to the world. And one of the applications that I need to mention is that we also have a program for the medical profession, Words as Medicine. In fact, nurse practitioner Bertrand Nojang, nurse practitioner, his corporation, he named it after that, called Words as Medicine, Inc. I did a study, and he's co-authoring writing it up. We'll submit it to a nurse practitioner publication. I told my patients with all sincerity that the goal of your therapy is for you to come back much stronger than ever, and we'll do all I possibly can to help you come back much stronger than ever. And we found that increases people's optimism and hope. Increasing optimism is known for a medical fact. A lot of research showing it enhances the prognosis for every illness, as well as surgical procedures. So we have an evidence-based approach. Plus, I published an article in National Psychologist, and I've got a couple other publications that I have not published yet, but it's a couple other studies. So we not only do our own publishing, I also finance my own research. And now one nurse practitioner and I are doing together. So that's an exciting dimension I want to be sure to include in the movement. I want to add a very important dimension. We're all about activism, spiritual activism, emotional activism. The whole idea is to move, and we have social activism, not political, where we're doing things for ourselves, our loved ones, and society. So we don't have committees. Personally, I like to get different opinions. When I come up with a new idea, a new way to bring the honor movement to the people, I like to get different opinions and consult. But it's not necessary. You can just move, and if you make mistakes, that's okay. Mess it up and then clean it up. The whole idea is motion. Keep moving, bring it. That's the key, what we're responsible for, just bringing it. Then it's out of our hands. Whatever happens, happens. If our intention is to bring honor, to uplift and inspire people, we just bring it, and then it's in God's hands after that. There's no committees, but it's wise to consult whenever possible. I do a lot of consultations myself. I take a lot of opinions before I make my moves, but sometimes I don't, and it's not a requirement. Well, it's been my pleasure to present to you the structure of the honor movement as of 4/23/23.
The sea of destiny is in your deepest struggle. God's will and mine be one, and I wish you well. You are co-creator, respectfully real. There's a way in the valley that turns weakness to steel. We're known through all eternity. From strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow. I pledge my love all the days of my life. I pledge my soul to all that is good. I pledge my heart to my brothers and sisters who I join in the light, leave a legacy of honor. We're known through all eternity. From strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow.